Last night, we had a shock NXT heel turn, plus scrapped plans for Travis Scott have been revealed, and how WWE are keeping the masked man a mystery. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. What an exciting NXT last night, Ross.
You never know what's going to happen inside that shed when Chef Michaels gets his big wrestling cooking pot out the cupboard.
And last night, there was some cooking and some stirring as Javon Evans went, I ain't waiting till New Year's Evil. I want my title match that I earned at Deadline tonight.
Yeah, it was meant to happen on New Year's Evil, but he gans know it's happening tonight, and also on a night where Ricky Sainz says to Obafemi, I know I lost at the weekend, that's fine. I'm not going to wait me turn to get back in there and take your title, you big, beautiful man.
That's exactly what he said. So we had a main event of Javon Evans and Obafemi for the NXT title. Really solid match with those who really enjoyed it, but a shocking conclusion.
Yeah, it looks like Javon's getting the job done. Big elevated cutter like we know he likes to do from time to time in the professional wrestling ring. But what do you know? The referee goes down for a 1, he goes down for a 2, but before he can hit the 3, Ricky Sainz pulls the ref out the ring because he's not waiting his turn, and he's going diddler in the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast sense of the word to get there.
He is indeed. Now, Javon Evans did his best to kind of bounce back from this, quite literally. Did a lovely dive outside the ring onto Ricky Sainz, but Obafemi would recover, fall from grace, and Oba retains the title. And there's Ricky Sainz at the end of NXT doing the bad guy smirk.
Yeah,
he's a good bad guy though. Any Ricky Sainz.
Time, kid. Yeah, I think it's needed because Ricky Sainz's time in NXT so far has been weird. I think it's been very understated to begin with. He had the feud. I was about to say the big feud. He had the feud with Jasper Troy where it was sort of 50-50 until the very end. Then he's just gone to the NXT Championship out of nowhere, basically, and now he's lost at Oba after a very short reign, and now he's obviously turned heel. So I think there's been a means to an end in terms of what they've done at the weekend, especially. So hopefully we're going to go full hog with Ricky Sainz now, because it feels like they've been not really putting the
half
throttle.
hog.
Yeah, half hog.
It feels like he's speed running NXT because we've had like debut, name change, mid-card title, mid-card feud, main event run, title win, heel turn.
Yeah,
it's a speed run of NXT.
Made for a great highlight package when he goes to the main roster.
Oh, yeah.
Look at everything he did.
Yeah, in
3
weeks.
months.
So how is NXT shaping up over the holiday season if you're American? PW Insider say that next week's episode of NXT is going to be broadcast live from, as usual, from the shed. And then the following day, there's going to be tapings as well, which will be broadcast over the next 2 weeks after that. So you'll get a taped episode of NXT on Christmas Eve, and you'll get a taped NXT on New Year's Eve. And then they're back to normal live episodes for New Year's Eve.
My goodness me, the tapings are featuring a big match, though. Joe Hendry versus Dion Lennox of the old dark state. My goodness me, Miles Bourne and Leon Slater four-way to determine Oba's new challenger, because Javon already cashed in his championship challenge, as we mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, so will that be also we'll see Blake Monroe facing Thea Hale. Last night on NXT, Thea Hale tapped out Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
Blake kind of threw out an open challenge. Thea ran in and just grabbed onto her like a limpet on the bottom of a boat and just took her down, tapped her out, and then I won the belt. No, you didn't, because the match didn't start.
Yeah.
And the entire women's locker room are turning on Blake Monroe, which is fun to see.
Yeah, it turns out being very energetic pays off from time to time, because as Tom said, Blake Monroe says, who wants to be my next challenger? Literally the entire women's locker room is on the aisleway, but Thea Hale comes in from the rear, taps her out, bish bash bosh, and the championship match is set.
And the dirt is gone. That's how NXT is looking for the next couple of weeks anyway. Meanwhile, on the main roster, remember Travis Scott, the man that sauntered towards the ring in possibly one of the worst WrestleMania main events since Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy? Yeah, I do just about as well. There were big plans rumoured and speculated for Travis Scott in WWE off the back of that never came to fruition. Logan Paul has confirmed those.
Yeah, he says on his podcast, so he does. I was very excited, obviously, for him, Travis Scott, to enter the WWE. We were supposed to team up with one other person. It was supposed to be a 3-on-3, and the day was supposed to be announced. He didn't show up. Excuse me. My guess is he probably realised at some point that it's really physically demanding, really hard, and a lot of work. It's probably too much commitment for someone who is a rock star of his caliber. Because there were those stories at the time where Triple H sort of inferred that he wasn't there for not to say the grind that he applied to Will Ospreay, but Travis didn't want the hard yards to get to the big show.
He wasn't up for it after all. WrestleVotes and PW Insider had also reported at the time that there were plans to have John Cena team with Logan Paul and Travis Scott to face Cody Rhodes and the Usos. Travis Scott's involvement in John Cena's heel turn along with The Rock was somewhat referenced in John Cena's interview with Chris Van Vliet, and Cena just went, don't forget
it doesn't matter when it happened.
Forget it.
I'd argue, the biggest heel turn we've seen since Hulk Hogan 30 odd years ago. I reckon the details would be quite interesting to hear the details.
Yeah. well, we saw the details because they did that lovely thing on WWE Unreal where Triple H was going, then I called Travis Scott, and then I called the cleaner, and then I called my mum and asked if come over for dinner. Then we ran the Rock and I went, excuse me, can we do some wrestling, please? He went, yeah, as long as I could be in it. Then the whole little graph, I quite enjoyed that. And I enjoyed RJ6's parody of it as well. That was good fun. So don't expect Travis Scott back in a ring anytime soon. And expect some very creative editing should they ever wish to talk about John Cena's heel turn and WrestleMania main event again.
Yes.
Because they won't include him. Speaking of scrapped plans, Andrade was speaking with Eduardo Bates in an interview, and he revealed that he was pitched to be part of the first Worlds Collide event.
Yes, Andrade said, I was going to be at the first Triple R event. He mentions a mystery. Could it be Triple H? Could it be Shawn Michaels? Who could it be? But he says he told me that he was going to be Vikingo, Phoenix, and I believe Obafemi in a four-way. So Andrade versus Vikingo versus Phoenix versus Oba in a four-way. It was going to take place at the first Worlds Collide. And they told me, we want you in this because we know you can work with Phoenix and also Vikingo, so that doesn't look so small compared to Oba.
Yeah.
So, going up like that.
Yeah, like that old sketch from the comedies with John Cleese in it, with the sizes going up. So I mean, I always thought that had Andrade been stuck around in WWE, they would have involved him more in the Triple A shenanigans they were doing.
Oh yeah.
But outside of that, I don't know what else they would have done with him. But that not to be. Which
I'll
is
tell
a
you what
shame.
they would have done, Tom. They would have had him appear backstage on SmackDown in segments where he goes, oh, I'd like to work with you. And he walks off, which is basically what he did the entire time he was there.
But they would have had him do it, but without glasses. But he still does the motions. I'd like to work with you. That'd have been amazing. If eagle-eyed people of the TNA fan variety will have noticed that Marsha Slamovich is now gone from the TNA Wrestling roster page. So she hasn't been on TV following very serious allegations of domestic abuse and domestic violence, and she's been off telly altogether. She put out a statement in which she addressed it and planned to work on herself in the meantime. But she was gone from the website, and Fightful Selective said we have confirmed with TNA sources that she is done with the company as her contract expired quite some time ago, believed to be late October. Masha was pulled from TNA creative plans after details of what she called, quote, a mutually destructive relationship emerged. Her ex said he hoped she would continue in wrestling, but she's disappeared completely from the public eye. I'm sure she popped up in like one or two matches with very little fanfare, but outside of that, nothing.
Yeah.
And I think
Excuse me, Mike. I've got a horse in my throat this morning.
Oh dear, that's a shame. How did that get in there?
I don't know.
Was it 3:30 at Kempton? So Masha's gone from the industry at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 12 months down the line, like should Masha go away and do whatever she feels she needs to do to be a better person, that maybe there's conversations that happen once again. We don't know at this point.
There's a lot to sort out by the looks of things before she even thinks about getting back into wrestling, or we even speculate where she might go. So yeah, hopefully she gets everything sorted out pretty soon. Yeah.
Now, WWE have had some fun over the last couple of weeks with a mysterious stranger. It was at Survivor Series where we saw a hooded individual enter the War Games cage and stomp the face off of CM Punk. He appeared once more on Raw this past Monday to beat up Rey Mysterio and also beat up LA Knight for a bit of a laugh as well. WWE are going to some lengths to make sure sure that the identity of this masked man remains a mystery.
Yeah, not to go Wade Barrett on this, but anyone with a working set of eyes could have seen that it was a different man in this week's Raw compared to Survivor Series. Not because of the nipples, of course, as Wade Barrett likes to tell us about Grande Americano, the areolas. Nothing to do with that. But the size of the dumb truck was a lot bigger at Survivor Series than it was in this week's Raw. But Brian Alvarez basically has said they're going to do different people in the role until they reveal who it actually is down the line.
So Austin Theory was a Survivor Series. That was the conversation. Under the mask on Monday, I've heard some people say Montez Ford, possibly.
I saw a tweet before watching Raw this week that had a lot of numbers going, that's clearly Montez Ford. Then you watch it and the way he leaps between the ropes after he does the initial attack on Rey Mysterio. That could be Montez Ford. You're thinking to yourself.
What if it ends up being like a whole new faction born from it, with Austin Theory, the Street Profits, and a bunch of other people, but they all turn up at the same time as different hooded individuals.
You mean Retribution 2.0?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Up the Retribution.
I've just booked Retribution.
Great times.
I've just booked Retribution.
I saw a tweet, which might be a worse idea, to be fair, where it's obviously lots of different people up down the line until Jericho is revealed to be the guy.
Oh,
imagine that one.
And Jericho's the leader of Retribution 2.0. Yes,
the Retribution tree. Come and sit under the Retribution tree.
Break the ratings down. That would be a thing. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. Indeed, we love you for doing so, and thank you for watching through to support us as well. Punishment videos are where they live right now, and there has been a bit of a bluster about the new punishment, which you sorted out, Ross.
Yeah, I mean,
not to throw you under the bus,
I'm happy to be.
We're all feeling what you did.
The bus can ride over me, my friends, because when Sam obviously took over as MD, I was given the job as being punishment master here at Cultaholic Wrestling, and Sam says they need to be gnarlier than ever because they're on the Patreon. People are paying good money for this kind of thing, so we need to give them value for money. So that's what they've been. He's been taking spears from Rampage Brown. He's done other things which have been fantastic. 6 hours of karaoke. Sounds like a great time for
Blasting with paintball guns.
Yeah, sounds like a great time to me. As I say, it's all the director from the MD himself. They need to be gnarlier, Ross.
He did say it.
So
I actually heard him say that.
In the words of Roy Keane, I'm just doing my jab. So yeah, this week we'd had, obviously you might have seen on Instagram this week that we took Sam to the barbershop. He wants to pay tribute to someone who has had quite a notable year this year in life and the world of professional wrestling. So that's what we did for Sam, and that'll go live on Thursday, hopefully.
I don't think he wanted to go to the barbershop.
He might have done.
Is my concern.
He got a blow dry, he got a wash, he got a fresh trim. I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah.
All on the company card.
But he hasn't been seen. We haven't had eye nor tail of him.
We should plug the stream tonight. I'm going to obviously continue rewatching WCPW at 5 p.m. GMT on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. As of right now, Sam won't be there. I hope he is. It'd be nice to see him.
I've got expense receipts that I need him to sign off. Yeah. I'd like him to be in today.
He'll be in soon. He's fine.
I've got Christmas.
Everyone, when you go for a new hairstyle, I mean, I had a mullet this time last year. When you go for a new hairstyle, it takes a bit of time to get used to. That's all Sam's going through. And he'll be back at work soon. No need to worry about him. He's fine. I just did my job.
I'm just doing my job. John Cena could be doing the job to Gunter on Saturday night's main event in his last ever match. But on the channel today, I do a deep dive into John Cena's first ever WWE match.
Who was that against?
Oh, of course. It was. If only someone could tell us. It is, of course, the Cena angle match, but all the trappings and the story that goes into it and came out of the back of it as well. It's a full-on deep dive into it, and it's on the channel a little bit later on today. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Sam Driver is all right.